Hello and welcome to the CXO 2.0 conference here in Las Vegas. My name is Danny, your host, and we have our next lovely guest joining us today, CEO and founder of DC Design, Durell Coleman. If you can introduce yourself and your organization.
My name is Durell Coleman. I'm the founder and CEO of DC Design. We are a social impact consulting firm that works to eliminate generational poverty. We walk side by side with nonprofit leaders, helping them do two things. One is to make sure that the work that they're doing in community is solving the right problems, getting down to the core of it. What is it communities truly need in order to thrive and move from point A to point B in their lives? And the second thing we do is we work with those organizations to fortify their internal operations so that they're able to handle the overall strategy and mission that they have set out to complete.
Awesome, wonderful. And you're based out of Austin?
I'm based in Austin, Texas.
Based in Austin, Texas. And do you mainly work with clients only in Austin, or do you also do like remote work and consulting?
And so we work all across the country.
Okay.
We work in California, in Milwaukee, in Washington, D.C., New York, et cetera. And so all of these different locations are our market. We have a remote team, but we also create intimate engagements with the clients that we work with.
Wonderful. And what makes your approach to social impact different from traditional consulting and strategic planning?
Our approach to strategic planning is really about understanding the key leverage points for change. So there are so many different things that an organization can do to try to create change. And often they are trying to do all of those. And what that does is it leaves an executive director and a team feeling exhausted. But genuinely, there are 3 to 4 things that need to be done if we really want to move the needle for a given population. Our process and practice of strategic planning is to go in and really understand what are those key leverage points. We do that by elevating the voices of community, bringing in research, bringing in all the stakeholders who have a perspective on that issue to create a plan that is truly going to move the needle and change outcomes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how's your networking been so far here at the conference, at the CXO conference? I know this is the last day, so we're just wrapping things up. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's been good. I've
Yeah.
met some really good people while I've been here. Had the chance to serve on a panel with some other great folks and hear some fantastic
Wonderful.
talks as well.
Yeah.
And so it's been both an edifying experience and something that I've been able to give back to at the same time.
And what was your panel? What was it called?
It's called Hype versus Substance.
Okay.
I'm really focusing in on how you can make sure that you're solving a real problem. And this is something that's relevant to for-profit businesses, but is also especially relevant to nonprofit businesses that have to, or nonprofit organizations that have to go out and make sure that they're addressing real issues.
And I'm going to segue from that one. What do you wish more nonprofit leaders understood before they started strategic planning?
Fundamentally, I think that strategic planning can be one of the most powerful unlocks for your organization. A lot of nonprofit leaders view strategic planning as this box checking activity. And I understand why. It's because it's something that's mandated by the board. It's something that they have to have, but often that plan hasn't come into play. I would want more leaders to understand before they go into that process just how powerful it could be. If you nail the right leverage points and you do that process the right way, it makes everything else that you do for the next 5 years easier.
Wonderful, wonderful. And can you share a story of a time your work helped unlock transformation for a community and organization? But you give a lot back to the community already with your business model, correct? So.
Yeah, I mean, our work, an example of where it helped unlock changes for a community is that we wrote the strategic plan for reducing jail recidivism in Santa Clara County, California. And the result of that was after the first 2 years of implementation, there was a 14% reduction in the rate of people going back to jail who had left jail that were part of the population we were serving. And so that's been the case there. It's been the case focusing on eliminating infant mortality, as well as other issues that have come up.
Wonderful. And if someone wanted to follow in your footsteps, what steps do you recommend?
I think that to follow in my footsteps would either be to start your own company, or it could be to go do social change type work. I think it's hard to sustain oneself in doing this work.
How so?
Because you have to find a way to make enough money while delivering social good, and that's not always in the path that the world has set up for folks. And so my advice to anyone who's setting out on this journey is to really understand your why. Understand why you're doing this, understand why this matters, It's taken a lot of persistence and a lot of time spent in
Yes.
this space with my partners and clients to really figure out a way to deliver change in a consistent way that can allow me to hire a team and provide value all across the board.
And what would you say are the types of organizations or leaders are the best fit to work with your team?
Best organizations to work with my team are committed. The best people to work with my team are committed nonprofit leaders, people who are in this work, rain or shine. They show up to the office whether they have funding or not. There's something about the issue that they're working on that gets them out of bed in the morning and says, "I'm going to figure this out." If that's who you are, then that's the type of leader that we work with and we walk alongside. We especially focus on leaders that have a bit more funding to them right now that maybe are already creating impact, but they're going through a change. They're growing. Their organization is changing in some way. They've recently received some funding, or they're at a point of transition. So those are some of the best ones to work with us, but we do work with nonprofit leaders in the early stages as well as through the end of their career.
And you did get the CXO 2.0 Conference Visionaries Award. How did you feel about receiving that recognition?
It was such an honor. It was an amazing honor to receive the Visionaries Award. I know that only 5 or 6 of those are handed out a year, and it's something that really speaks, I think, to the vision not just that I hold, but the vision of the nonprofit partners that I get to work with. There are people who genuinely believe that change is possible. And if I'm honest, we're in a space right now where we are managing poverty. That's what our system in America does. But real transformation is possible. And the vision that I have and the vision that those I get to work with have is one where communities are more self-determinate, more prosperous, and the services that we're providing are things that are not needed down the line. And so I felt really great about that honor, being recognized for that. But I think it's also a real testament to the incredible partners and clients that I've been able to work with over the years, as well as my team that makes all this work possible.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's your vision for where this work is heading to in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think we're going to see a massive movement of folks recognizing that we need to shift our approach to how social change happens, and that this concept of fortification, this idea of permanently making people stronger after they interact with the social services and supports that this nation offers, is the fundamental missing ingredient for getting to where we ultimately want to get to. I think we're going to see more and more organizations adopting that and understanding that and really beginning to embed that in the work that they do.
Wonderful. And last question here. How are you helping organizations move from providing services to solving the problems that make those services necessary?
One of the hardest things for a nonprofit leader is to deliver direct services while recognizing that there's something bigger that needs to be addressed as well. And often the challenge is saying, well, I only have the resources to do a bit of this.
Yes.
I don't know that I can get to all of it. Our work is really around helping those organizations unlock what it takes to be able to address the root of a problem while delivering the direct services that help people today. People need beds today. People need food today. But we also need to create the conditions so that folks don't have to come back for that bed or for that food in the future. And so a lot of that is through emphasizing partnership, emphasizing collaboration, helping folks see the entire system. And we work and walk alongside nonprofit leaders to help them see those pieces so they can understand where there's untapped potential and their ability to create real transformation.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's the best way to get in contact with you and your organization? LinkedIn, website, YouTube?
Yeah, I'm super active on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you can find me on my LinkedIn, Durell Coleman. You can also reach out to my organization, my company, at info@dcdesignltd.com. We read every email that we get, and we would be happy to talk with anyone who this resonates with.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your conference.
Appreciate it.
Yes.